Sergeant Benz of Los Santos Sheriff's Office. Do you know why I am pulling you over?
Absolutely no clue.
Okay, how about 91 and a 70?
Doesn't ring a bell. Where did this occur?
Sonora Freeway.
I never left Sandy.
I'm pretty sure it was you. Watch you 91 and a 70.
I never left Sandy.
And if we want to go that route, also you blacked out on me. Why'd you black out?
I'm sorry?
Why did you black out on me? Why'd you turn your lights off?
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, license, registration, insurance. Okay, Mr. Henderson, everything up to date on the vehicle?
Yep.
License, registration, everything?
Yep, address and all.
Okay. All right, Mr. Henderson, just 1 second, okay? Get you out of here. 7 Sam 81 traffic.
Sam 81.
Control, show me under 95. It's going to be northbound Panorama Drive, 3037 at the gas station. It's going to be occupied one time. It's going to be a 2-door silver sports car.
Copy.
Ooh, look at this.
No R98 control, you can show me back tonight.
Definitely.
All right, Mr. Henderson.
Yep.
Okay, so you are going to be getting a citation, okay?
For what?
91 and a 70.
I'm telling you, man, it wasn't me.
Well, I'm telling you, I saw you pass me doing 91 and a 70. Got you on radar.
Yeah, but that wasn't me.
Well, I'm just telling you.
You can't prove that. You can't prove that it was me.
What, do I need to go back and look at my dash cam again and get proof?
You might need to look at the license plate. There's a lot of people that drive this kind of car.
Well, there was a silver vehicle just like yours that blacked out on me, went above Sonora Freeway.
Yeah, you said just like mine. It's not exactly mine.
Well, the reason why I didn't pull you over there is because you're going so damn fast.
I'm telling you, man, I never left Sandy. I was actually coming out of the recycling plant over there.
All right, well, my dash cam, like I said, what I clocked this vehicle right here going 91 and a 70, all right? Also, I want to point out one more thing is that you've got numerous amount of traffic infractions, okay? And one more traffic infraction could result in a driver license suspension.
Uh-oh.
Okay? All right, so I'm going to hand this over to you. I need you to sign this. Not admitting guilt. It's going to say you're going to appear to court of law. You can always fight this if you'd like. And you can ask for dash cam readings, things like that.
If I don't sign it, do I go to jail?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm telling you, it wasn't me, but I mean, I don't want to go to jail, and I don't want to sign for something I didn't do.
Well, you know how many times I hear people say that it wasn't me?
Yeah, but I'm telling you the truth, man. I just came out of the recycling plant. It wasn't me.
Which direction of travel were you going?
Coming from the recycling plant?
Where's the recycling plant again?
I believe it'll be back there near the airplane junkyard, I believe that's what it's called.
Okay. Well, like I said, I got you. I got this particular vehicle right here, clocked at 91 and a 70. If you want to try to fight it in court, you're more than welcome to do that, all right?
Yeah.
Okay, we will now be hearing traffic case 0015, Robert Henderson v. Los Santos County Sheriff's Office. Mr. Henderson can come down to the stands.
Am I nervous? Oh, hell no.
Okay. This one is over a speeding ticket and is being disputed over whether or not this defendant was driving the vehicle Is the vehicle that was in question seen by the deputy? We'll start with the defendant. Mr. Henderson, if you would like to approach the podium and make your opening statement.
Your Honor.
Thanks, Nick.
The night, Sunday, January 2nd, 2022, at approximately 2:31 in the morning, I was pulled over by said deputy, Sergeant Benzo,
Deputy Sergeant Benzo,
due
okay.
to a speeding violation down on, I believe it was Sonora Freeway.
Now, he may
Correct
get
me
out
if
of
I'm
the
wrong.
ticket, guys. It's possible. It's always possible.
Stated that I was doing 91 in a 70, and
Sean.
excuse me, and that I, quote, blacked out. I stated to Sergeant Benzo that I was at the scrapyard at the time, picking up parts for a customer of mine. And to avoid further altercation, I just signed the ticket and went on about my day.
Is that all, Mr. Henderson?
That is all.
You may be seated.
Hey.
Prosecution, your floor.
Hey, Snyder.
Opening statement.
How you doing there, man?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hey, thank you. We'll probably have to go up there, I'm sure, but we'll see.
All right. Your Honor, should be fairly quick. You know, as the defendant said, they state that they were working, and that they weren't the driver or the operator of the vehicle, or vehicle in question wasn't theirs, that the deputy
That's cool, man.
caught. We do have evidence to the contrary. I have one witness and I have 3 exhibits I can present to the court to prove the contrary. Thank you.
Thank you, counselor. All right, Mr. Henderson, what evidence or witnesses do you have to present to the court today?
I have, do you want me to go to the stand?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I have 2 pieces of evidence that would justify otherwise that I was not around the highway area of that time. The first piece of evidence states that there was a vehicle that was traveling around 91 miles an hour. But if you pay attention to the license plate in the first and second piece of evidence that I have, there is no indication that my vehicle was in that area of that time. During the second clip that I showed, it would later seem that my license plate does appear in the radar footage. However, I don't think, if you pay really close attention, the first footage does not show my license plate at all.
It's because the way my vehicle was turned, right, chat?
Okay, and do you have this footage available with you today?
I do.
All right, give it 1 second. Bailiff, could you go secure that footage for me? All right, I think I got this thing working. I'm gonna start with clip 1 and play it for the courtroom.
Just in case it's not him, let's just do this.
Clear, away.
There we go.
Front, away.
Okay, I think he's blacked out. That's him.
Nor 98, you can show me 23.
There you are. Yeah, he was claiming that he wasn't.
Okay, we have now
he wasn't
reviewed your
driving it.
clips. You have anything to say about them?
As stated before, in clip 1, you do see that there was a vehicle that was traveling at approximately 91 miles an hour. However, in that same clip, you would see that there is a license plate that does not match the vehicle in question. However, in clip 2, the clip in a tag in question does appear. So I say, therefore, I don't think that I was driving on that night in question.
Okay, do you have anything else to bring to the court today? Any witnesses, more evidence?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then you may be seated.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, prosecution, you have the stand.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd like to call a witness onto stand, which is Sergeant Benzo.
Here we go, boys.
Good luck, sir. All right, calling a Mr. Sergeant Benzo to the stand.
Let me swear you in really quick. Do you solemnly state that the testimony you may give in the case now pending before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
I do.
You're clear to go onto the stand.
All right, prosecution, your witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sergeant Benzo, appreciate you coming up on here. Is it all right with you if I ask you a few questions?
Sure.
I appreciate it. Could you state to the record and to the court your name, your rank, what agency you're with, and what your responsibilities with said agency are?
Sure. It's Sergeant Mike Benzo at the Los Santos Sheriff's Office. At the time of service on this particular actual citation, it was going to be a sergeant of the patrol area for Los Santos Sheriff's Office, and now I'm a member of the sergeant for the Traffic Enforcement Division.
Okay. Have you been a member of the Traffic Enforcement Division?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so could you tell me how long you've been a part of that division?
Approximately a year and a half.
Year and a half. Okay. So you would say you have a lot of experience within that field, then, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Could you detail
Yeah,
me the
professional chat.
responsibilities and or duties of that specific division and state it to the court, please?
Sure. Traffic Enforcement Division handles all forms of traffic, whether it be shooting radar to enforce traffic laws on the streets of San Andreas. We also handle DUIs and motor vehicle accidents.
Okay. So would you say you're more versed in the vehicle related field within this more so than a regular deputy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So with that all being said, you have a lot of experience utilizing the radar system within your patrol vehicle, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So have you, in your experience, run into any issues utilizing that system?
Not currently to date, no, sir.
So not to date? Okay. Perfect. I'd like to ask you, could you detail me the events that occurred?
Sure. I think it was Sunday night, if I'm not mistaken, January 2nd, 2022. I was shining my badge, as always, in the patrol vehicle, shooting radar off Sonora Freeway, monitoring traffic going northbound and also southbound. And I noticed a four-door gray Dinka Segoyo sedan with a tail fin passed by me, traveling at a high rate of speed, 91 miles an hour in a 70-mile-an-hour zone. The vehicle passed me. I turned back around put my traffic lights on, and I did notice the vehicle blacked out, took a left onto Route 68, and still traveled at a high rate of speed, and then I lost sight of the vehicle. And once I regained sight, the vehicle was around Smoke Tree Road, and then I noticed the four-door gray Dinka Segolia sedan with tail fin pull out of Smoke Tree road area, and then I proceeded to initiate the traffic stop at that point on Panorama.
Okay. So when your radar initially went off and captured the 91, did you clearly and visibly see the vehicle?
Yes, I saw the four-door gray Dinka Segolia sedan with tail fin pass me, high rate of speed, going northbound, Sonora Freeway.
Okay, so you were able to see it before it triggered your radar then?
Yes.
Okay.
Like how professional I am, chat.
So, Sergeant Benzo, does, in your experience and with the knowledge that you have being in the TED unit, I believe you'd be a good candidate to ask this question. If you say you capturing another speeder or somebody else regarding a different charge, and your plate reader doesn't capture them initially, does that mean they don't receive the charge, or?
Well, to answer the question directly, since I'm under oath, sometimes because of the plate reader, the ALPRs on the TED units can sometimes pick up other license plates. That is true from both north and south, depending on direction of travel, or I should say, depending on position of the vehicle. So yes, that is a possibility that it can pick up other vehicles' radar or the other vehicle plates.
Okay. And is, in your experience, has the plate ever not read or triggered?
The plate,
In other words, malfunctioned?
the plate reader's never malfunctioned. It only reads the plate depending on which way the vehicle's facing, either north or I should say from the front or the rear of the vehicle.
So it is possible that if the vehicle's not angled correctly, it may not capture a vehicle on, or the ALPR that you said, it wouldn't capture the license plate of a vehicle. Depends on the positioning of the patrol vehicle. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So with that being said, you're saying with the plate reader, if it didn't capture the plates, that wouldn't, in this case, it wouldn't be a factor in you being able to stop this vehicle, correct?
Correct. I visually saw the vehicle pass me at a high rate of speed. I did not look at the plate reader at the time. I just observed the vehicle, the actual vehicle characteristics when it passed me.
Okay, so you wouldn't necessarily need in this specific case, you wouldn't necessarily need the license plate in order to stop that vehicle then, correct?
No, sir.
Okay.
Hey,
So
endangered monkey.
in your experience, how many other vehicles that you said the vehicle is a Dinka Sugoi? How many of these vehicles have you encountered in your duties as a deputy?
Not very many. If I was to hazard a guess, I'd say maybe a total of 2 over the last year.
So 2 over the last year. So you would say this vehicle is extremely rare then?
I'd say it's extremely rare. With
Okay.
the tail fin.
Yeah. So with the modifications then, okay.
See, I did that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all the questions I have for Sergeant Benzo, Your Honor. Thank you, Sergeant Benzo.
Thank you.
Counsel, you may be seated. Mr. Henderson, do you have any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Sergeant Benzo, you may step down.
Good job.
Thank you.
Do you have anything further for us, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. If I may, I'd like to call up another witness. That'd be the sheriff.
We're calling to the stand, Sheriff Mark D'Angelo.
Hey there, Josh the Slayer.
God damn it, I
How's it
can't.
going, man? I think there's JT. I had a lot more planned for that. I was hoping they'd ask me a lot more
Do you
details.
solemnly state that the testimony you may give in the case now pending before this court shall be the truth, the whole
thank you,
truth,
Miss
and nothing
Chris.
but the truth? So help you God.
I do.
You may now take the stand.
Oh boy.
I love what you've done with this stand.
Thank you, Sheriff. Again, apologies on this. I just like to ask you just a couple questions, and I'll get out of here.
Sure.
So, I'd like to ask you, your vehicle fleet within your department, they're well maintained, correct, and consistently maintained?
Of course, we
I
always
know, right,
strive to
Liam?
keep our fleet at the most highest standards in the state, in the world even. But yeah, we want to keep our citizens, my constituents, all safe out there, including our deputies that are working hard for them.
Nods.
All right. And I'm gonna reference a statement you made previously in another session, but and correct me if I'm wrong, Sheriff, but you stated that you go above and beyond with the state requiring you to maintain and calibrate your systems once every 3 years, but you do it once every year.
That is correct. The state
Yeah,
requirement is every
Jake.
3 years, and it's our personal goal to have it done once every year to again give us that extra leeway and ensure that the enforcement that we're doing there out there on the street is always at the utmost level.
Thank you. And would that also apply to your plate readers, or I guess in more specific terms, your ALPR systems for your patrol vehicles?
Yes, they are also routinely maintenance. And again, we want to use those at the best of our ability. It's not a perfect system, but it is a system that it helps us enhance our ability to serve.
I appreciate it, Sheriff. Your Honor, that's all I have. Thank you.
Wish I made $200 for just standing here every 30 minutes. It'd be so nice.
All right, Mr. Henderson, do you have any questions for the sheriff?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. D'Angelo, you may step down.
Hey, Your Honor. Meatloaf Thursday.
Meatloaf Thursday.
All right, prosecution, anything else for us at the court today?
Your Honor, yes, I'd like to ask for one more person on the stand, which is the defense, if they're able to.
Mr. Henderson,
Yes, Your Honor.
would you like to take the stand?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's right, Jake. Oh, you work at the dispatch? You been doing some dispatch? That's cool, man. I think you did that before, right, Jake?
Do you solemnly state that the testimony you may give in the case now pending before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Do you do that currently, IRL?
You can now take the stand.
Or anything like that? Or like in FiveM? Oh, okay, I got you. For the SLRP. You're in their Discord, Jake?
You're a witness,
Alright.
counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Henderson, I just like to extend my appreciation and thank you for your
Oh, okay,
willingness to
good.
come onto the stand. Obviously, with the concerns to which you've mentioned are fairly alarming. I want to get as much clarification from you as possible, so that way we can get a solution to this problem. So I, if you're fine with it, I'd like to ask you some questions.
Sure.
Perfect. So Have you owned that vehicle for a long time?
No.
No? So you haven't owned the Dinka. So when did you acquire it?
I believe it was the month prior to the incident.
Month prior to the incident? Okay.
It was at this moment that he knew.
So are
He
you
fucked up.
familiar with the vehicle, its capabilities, its speed, etc.?
Due to the fact that I got the vehicle month prior, no.
No? Okay.
I would say I only ride it maybe 2 times out of the week.
You drive it 2 times out of the week?
2 times out of the week to and from work.
To and from work? Okay. Where do you live, Mr. Henderson? You don't have to give a specific address, even like a street or general location can work if you're not comfortable with stating your address.
I live down in Marlowe Drive.
Marlowe Drive, is that in the city, Los Santos?
Yes.
City of Los Santos. Okay. Do you have any family, sir?
No. Not in the States, no.
Not in the state. Okay. What do you do for work, Mr. Henderson?
Well, I'm kind of in between jobs. During the incident in question, I was working at the scrapyard. I do a little bit of side business with mechanic work. I also do a volunteer helping just random people in general.
Okay, so are you currently not employed at the said facility you were referencing at the time of the occurrence?
I was, but like I said, I'm in between jobs. I'm just trying to fill out my area.
So so again, to reiterate, are you still employed at that scrapyard?
No.
So you're not currently working there?
No.
Okay, when were you were you terminated or did you leave?
I left.
You left, and what was your position there?
We don't really have positions there. It's kind of like a, hey, do this kind of thing on this certain day. Sometimes they'll have us pack up boxes. Sometimes they'll have us like crush vehicles, old vehicles, stuff like that.
So okay. So what was at the time of the event, you said you were at your workplace?
Yes.
Okay, what were you doing at your workplace?
A customer requested some parts for his vehicle, and I had just so happened to see that specific vehicle at the scrapyard. It came in that day, so I was already working that time. So I figured I'd grab the parts for him before I left.
Right. Okay. So was the vehicle or the Dinka that you own, and at the occurrence that when you were initially being pulled over, you were operating, was that vehicle brand new off the lot, or did you buy it secondhand?
I bought it off the lot.
So it was brand new?
It was brand new.
Okay. So did you do any modifications to the vehicle?
Yes, I did actually.
So could you
It was at
state
this
before
moment
what kind
that
of
he knew.
modifications you've
He fucked up.
done to the vehicle?
I've added a back tail wing, and I believe I added some xenon white lights to it.
Got him! Got him!
So they're aftermarket parts then?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Bruh.
And you mentioned to the court that you work,
right, Benzo?
you're in between jobs and you do little mechanic jobs on the side. Are you
Less than Q. Yep.
are you licensed, and are you have you gone to school regarding it? Are you legally able to work on vehicles?
I don't have a license. Like I said, I do that on the side. However, I was actually planning on going to school to be a full-time mechanic.
Okay. So could you so looking back at your record, you can see here that you have it's a little extensive. Could you inform me of, like, looking at your notes or my notes here with your citations? Do you know what you get pulled over for a lot?
I get pulled over for speeding a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for speeding. And you said you were or it says here that you were previously arrested for armed robbery. Is that correct?
That is correct. However, I tried to explain otherwise, but I guess there was just too much evidence to
Okay.
justify that I
And
did it. So
He's had like 8 or 9 traffic citations.
okay.
I
And I
did
just
warn
have
him
one more question I
we
need to
may
ask
suspend
you.
his license.
What are at that scrapyard? What are the hours of operation?
I believe on different days it fluctuates from 8 in the morning to like 1 at night. Sometimes maybe 2. I like to try to work over hours.
So
Yeah, stretching my head out, Jasmine. Got a kink in my neck.
okay. Your Honor, that's all I have. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Henderson, you can return to your desk.
Bye, Felicia.
Jeffrey, you're right there next to me.
All right, prosecution, do you have anything further for the court?
Yeah, I'd like to come up to the stand and discuss some of the exhibits, and so we can make it a little bit more clear to the court.
All right, counselor, you may approach the stand.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Henderson, you as well.
I'm sorry?
Approach the bench with the counselor.
Yeah, Jeffrey, he's doing a different stance, Jasmine. I'm in a thing called a guard stance. If you'll notice, I touch my right ear occasionally too, like an earpiece. And Jeffrey's other eating.
Okay, I understand. All right, the sides may take their seat again. The floor is yours, counselor.
Thank you, Your Honor, and my apologies on that mix-up.
Right, because they get hit in the nuts. Guard those things.
Your Honor, I just have a few things I'd like to point out and make it a little bit more, give a little bit more clarification regarding the evidence. The 3 exhibits that I have in question, two of which the defendant brought
Yeah,
onto
Mike,
the docket,
exactly
which is
right.
the 2 clips. First off, I'd like to mention that the vehicle is clearly seen. It's clearly visible. Beyond that, the vehicle has modifications. The vehicle has modifications to it, such as the rear spoiler or the rear wing. And with that of which being Exhibit 2, Exhibit 3, here is the second clip to which the defendant has provided to the court, which the vehicle that the deputy in question pulled over matched, the description matched to a T. So I'm not understanding where the plate didn't come up. Disregards him, but the vehicle matched to an absolute T, especially with modifications to it. Also adding that the vehicle is quite rare. So I just wanted to add some clarification to that regarding the evidence. So thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have. And the defense rests.
All right. Would you just like to go on with your closing statement then?
Correction, prosecution.
The defense rests.
Prosecution.
Prosecution rests, Your Honor. Yeah, I would like to do my closing statement. Thank you, Your Honor.
That's Braxton right there.
So as I mentioned before, Your Honor, the defendant here is a habitual offender. He's been stopped on multiple accounts in regards to his speeding. He openly admitted that he speeds. The vehicle in question was caught going 91 and a 70 on radar by a deputy whose specialization is traffic enforcement and goes through more extensive training than a regular deputy on said topic. We even showed to which and proved that the radar system, almost the error of flaw is almost non-existent. We also showed that just because the plate hasn't shown up doesn't disprove that the subject in question didn't commit the crime. The deputy also mentioned who his main duty is traffic enforcement, who is actively out and in contact with more vehicles than any other deputy here. Said in their experience that the vehicle is extremely rare, so the occurrence to which two of the same vehicles being the same area, that the chances are almost non-existent to that, Your Honor, especially to add that the vehicle has had aftermarket modifications to it, such as the wingtip to the tail of the vehicle. So beyond that, there's nothing else I can add to that.
All right, thank you, Counselor.
Hopefully. I guess we'll see from the judge, huh?
Mr. Henderson, if you would like to give your closing statement.
I do not wish to give one, Your Honor.
Okay, so you are standing?
Yes.
All right, based on the evidence provided, I believe there's no proof that the ALPRs in this vehicle should have picked up anything based on the statements from the officer that operates it, as well as the sheriff. I also believe that there is, without reasonable doubt, that they are the same vehicle, and the charges will stand after these aftermarket modifications are brought into consideration. The fuck out, man! As of now, the ticket will stand.
Fatality.
Case adjourned. All right, thank you all for coming out. Court will now be dismissed. I'll have a wonderful night.